Creator's statement of clarity and imagination. This mini-series is a work of pure imagination, creatively inspired by the adventurous spirit of 1980s monster movies, yet it stands entirely as its own original story, characters, and events. Though it is imagined in the real city of Chicago, specifically on the West Side where I was born, every supernatural occurrence, creature, and jump scare described herein is fictional and crafted for entertainment purposes only. Any resemblance to real persons, living or undead, is purely coincidental, and no copyrights are infringed upon in the making of this wild, windy, and slightly ridiculous adventure. What follows is a humorous yet creepy pasta tale told through the wide eyes and fast-beating heart of a 12 years young version of myself, B.J. Mayfield, going solo against things that absolutely should not exist. B.J. Mayfield and the West Side BoogeyMan. When I was 12 years young on the west side of Chicago, I believed in 3 solid facts of life. Number 1, cheese fries could fix almost anything. Number 2, if the streetlights came on and you were not inside, you were about to experience consequences. And number 3, monsters were real but probably too busy haunting downtown to bother with my block. I was wrong about number 3. It started in the alley behind our building, the same alley where garbage cans lined up like metal witnesses and stray cats acted like they paid rent. At the very end sat a boarded-up brick garage that nobody claimed and everybody avoided. The weeds around it grew like they had ambition. The boards on the door looked old, but not weak. They looked like they were holding something in, not keeping something out. One evening, while I was on trash duty, because apparently that was my superhero origin story, I heard tapping. Not loud tapping. Not dramatic tapping. Precise tapping. Tap. Tap tap. Tap tap tap. It sounded like fingernails on wood, counting. I stared at the garage. One of the boards bent outward just slightly, just enough to show darkness behind it. Inside that darkness were teeth. Too many teeth. Not smiling. Not chomping. Just waiting. I froze. My brain yelled run. My pride whispered, don't embarrass yourself in front of a monster. So I whispered, you better not be looking at me. The teeth clicked together like somebody testing silverware at a family reunion. The board snapped back into place. Then the alley stretched. I know how that sounds, but I grew up there. I knew the length of that alley like I knew my multiplication tables, which is to say mostly. Suddenly the streetlight at the end looked miles away. The garbage cans leaned inward. The air felt thick. And behind me, the tapping started again. I ran. I ran like my report card was chasing me. I burst through our back door and did not stop until I was in my room with the covers over my head. That night, just as sleep tried to show up, I heard it outside my window. Tap. Tap tap. And a whisper like splintering wood. B.J. Now here is the part where most kids would cry, or hide, or pray, or all 3. I did something different. I got mad. You see, monsters in movies wait for groups of kids. They want teams. Squads. Dramatic slow-motion walking scenes. I did not have a squad. It was just me. B.J. Mayfield, age 12, armed with a flashlight that flickered when it felt like it and a slingshot I mostly used on soda cans. If that thing wanted me, it was going to have to deal with me. The next day I went back to the alley before sunset. I brought a backpack filled with essentials, flashlight, slingshot, marbles, a small Bible from my dresser, a bottle of water, and 2 cheese fries in a napkin for emotional support. The garage was quiet. Too quiet. I walked up to the boards and knocked. Yes, I knocked. Come on out, I said, trying to sound braver than I felt. You've been tapping on my window, now we can talk. The wood trembled. Slowly, the boards bent outward again. This time the teeth were closer. Behind them I saw shifting shadows, like several mouths trying to agree on one sentence. You are almost ready. Ready for what? I asked, immediately regretting the question. The alley shifted again. The brick walls pulsed like a heartbeat. The garbage cans rattled. The creature began to push through the boards, splintering them without fully stepping out. Its body did not make sense. It looked like it was built from alley shadows, old wood, and the echo of every scary story ever told on a summer night. It lunged. I tripped. Very heroic. But when it lunged, it stopped just inches from me, like it hit an invisible wall. The small Bible had fallen from my backpack and landed between us. The creature hissed, not like a snake, but like wind through broken boards. You are not afraid. Now listen, I was afraid. My knees were shaking like they were auditioning for a dance crew. But I was also tired of being counted. You picked the wrong kid, I said, gripping my slingshot. I live here. The creature recoiled as the streetlight flickered above us. I realized something then. It was not feeding on fear. It was feeding on attention. Every time I reacted, it grew. Every time I stared too long, it sharpened. So I did the most disrespectful thing a 12-year-old could do to a supernatural horror. I laughed. Not a fake laugh. A loud, West Side, what are you even laugh? You are hiding in a garage, I said, with too many teeth and no plan. That is your whole personality. The creature shrank slightly. The alley stopped stretching. The brick walls steadied. I stepped forward. You are tapping on windows because you bored. You are counting because nobody ever picked you. The teeth clicked uncertainly. I took out one of the cheese fries and held it up. You want something scary, I said, try this 2-week-old cheese fry. For the first time, the creature recoiled fully. The boards snapped back around it like hands pulling curtains closed. The alley returned to normal length. The tapping stopped. Just like that. For weeks after, nothing happened. No stretching alleys. No teeth. No whispering my name at night. The garage remained boarded up, quiet, almost ordinary. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear a faint tap in the distance. Not counting. Just checking. And I smile. Because here is what the West Side boogeyman learned that summer. Monsters do not always need squads to be defeated. Sometimes all it takes is one 12-year-old kid, a flashlight, a slingshot, a little faith, and the confidence to laugh in the face of something that thinks it owns your block. And if it ever decides to come back out of that garage, it better bring more than teeth. Because I am still here. And I still do not scare easy.